everyone, Miss Schneider here. Today we're just going to do a little lemon painting, so follow along and yeah, hopefully you enjoy. I'm going to be using this lemon picture for reference throughout, but you can use any image that you like. So I'm just going to start by putting out my colours. I only use primary colours for this, and black and white, so blue, red, yellow, black, and then white. Now I'm going to start mixing my background by just blending blue and white for a nice light blue colour. This is an optional step and you will need to let it dry before you go to the next steps on top, but I thought the blue would look nice. Also make sure to paint the sides of your canvas too for a cleaner look from the front. Now I'm just going to start drawing in my lemon shape. You don't have to add a lot of detail for this drawing. This is just to help guide you for the basic shapes that you're going to be painting and map out where things are going to be. It's important for this step to have your reference image close to you and nearby for you to look at, just to make sure that you're getting the shapes that you want. For the first layer of painting, I'm actually going to do the entire composition using different shades of brown. So to make the brown, I'm using all of the primary colours. You might need to mix these a few times just to get the brown shades that you want. If it's looking a bit blue, add some more yellow and red. If it's looking a little bit orange, just until you get the brown shade that you want. This layer acts as the first layer of your lemon painting to give it some depth. I'm going to start by adding the darkest tones of the lemon. These will be where all the shadows are. So every place that you can see shadows on your lemon, do that bit first in the darkest brown. Then gradually add white and blend this into the brown. The white will be the highlight, so anywhere you see those light tones where the light would be hitting the lemon is where you would add the white. It's also a good idea to paint the furthest thing away in your painting first. That way when you're layering things on top, the closest things will look closer to you and the further things away will look further away. Don't be afraid to build up your painting by having layers and layers on top. Acrylic paint does tend to dry quite quickly, so add those layers and make sure that you've got a nice range of dark, medium and light tones of that brown for your first layer. Continue building up this brown layer through the leaves and the sticks and any other little details that you want. All of this brown will be painted over in the most part as well, but it does just tend to warm up your image as well, which is really good for still lifes like this. As I mentioned before, acrylic paint does dry quite quickly, so as it is drying, continue to build up some of those lighter layers by putting lighter brown or white on top, anywhere that light is hitting your object to give those highlights and give it more of a 3D shape. Now that my full image is completed in the brown layer and relatively dry, I'm going to start by adding the colour now. So the first colour I'm going to be adding is the green for the leaves. So by mixing blue and yellow, I'm making the green. To make your green look a little bit less bright and a little bit more forest green, add a tiny bit of red to dull the colour down so it's not quite so bright and it does look a bit more natural. Now with that same green mixture, I'm adding a slight bit more blue to that green to get some shadow tones and like a darker version of that green to put in all the shadows. Now I'm adding a little bit more yellow to that green to add some of those details and lines in the leaves. Finally, it's time to add the yellow for your lemons. I'm just using a straight yellow here out of my paint. I will build this up with some tone soon, but just getting that yellow shade to be nice and bright first is the best place to start. I'm adding some white to my lemon to highlight some of those areas where the light would be hitting it, and also to brighten it. When you're ready to add the shadows, you just want to add a teensy bit of purple or blue and red to your yellow to make those shadow tones. You want to use the opposite color from your color wheel. You don't want to make it too dark though. You want to keep your lemon nice and light, but still make it look like it's got some 3D shape to it. Also add some shadow tones to anywhere that lemon is covered as well, anywhere that there would naturally be some shadow. And of course keep building up those lighter tones as well with the white to add some highlights. For the lemon slices, I'm just going to do a flat color on them first and then build up those individual little pieces inside the lemon over the top with a deeper yellow. That just makes it a little bit easier to not have to do such tiny little white lines in between the yellow slices. So with the deeper yellow on top, I'm also adding a teensy bit of red as well to make it a little bit warmer. So in these stages of your painting where it's just about finished, this is just where you can add some final details. Check your reference image if there's any other details you're missing, and add those on top to just give it those final touches. For this very last step, I've just put some really watered down green underneath my shapes for some shadows to look like it's casting a shadow on the background. And that's it. Hope you've enjoyed this little painting session, and I'll see you next time.